ladies, gentlemen, everything in between, global warming's got to be real. Because why the fuck? Why is it so hot everywhere? Anyways, today we're going to be checking out this heat wave that's going around in England and Europe and all of the entire world, and why there's no air conditioning in a majority of Europe. Like, I don't understand that. I don't. There's a lot of things y'all have America beat in, so I feel like you should have us beat here as well, because y'all, it's hot. It's hot over there. Anyways, this video is called The Cruel Irony of Air Conditioning, and y'all suffering. Y'all are down bad right now. You got forest fires, you got people dying of heat strokes. Me, I'm from Texas, so I have become accustomed to the heat. You know, in December, it's like 90 degrees here still. So, I'm okay. But y'all, this is different for y'all. And I'm sorry. You can see me, I'm sweating. But again, I'm used to it. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Let's get into the video. I just feel really bad because the heat.
Hi, this is Alex from Minute Earth. Air conditioners are a modern wonder. They've saved countless lives during heat waves, cooled giant servers to essentially make the internet possible, and
I feel like that's a bit OD. Like, you have an air conditioner just for your PC? You must be rich.
in general made life in warm places more comfortable. But keeping our indoor climate cool has ironically made the outdoor climate much warmer. And fixing the planet warming effect of air conditioners is going to be one of the major challenges of the 21st century.
Okay, so obviously I know the basis of like conduction and convection. Like, to have an air conditioner work, you have to be able to suck out the hot air from in the room and take it outside so that the cold air and the like water circulation and stuff can flow inside. Obviously, so it's like this basically, in and out, in and out, in and out. But never would I have guessed that everybody having their AC running and pumping all this hot air out into the atmosphere would make the whole atmosphere hot. It makes it hotter. Dang. So the AC, sure, it's good for you, but it's bad for the environment, basically.
For now, heating buildings is still a larger overall contributor to climate change than air conditioners, because more people use heat for more hours. But air conditioning heats the planet in nefarious and subtle ways that are going to be harder to address. For example, to heat our buildings, we burn fossil fuels, which releases heat and heat-trapping CO2.
Okay, but that's not a thing over here, though. We don't really use our fireplaces anymore. We mainly have heaters. Like, it's incorporated in the air conditioning system. So we aren't contributing, at least.
But air conditioning also burns fossil fuels, just out of sight. And that's not their only problem. The way that air conditioners cool buildings is by moving heat from inside to outside.
Yeah.
They can pump out enough heat to warm an entire city by a few degrees. And on top of that, when we get rid of our old air conditioners, most of their chemical refrigerants leak out and evaporate. And while only a small overall amount leak out, it just so happens that the refrigerants we use are thousands of times more powerful than CO2 at trapping the Earth's heat.
No, that's wild. So even if it's just like, say there's 100 people in the city and 20 of them have to throw out their air conditioners, that's still a lot of shit going into the atmosphere. So we create these things and invent these things to make our lives easier, but at the end of the day, we're really just messing up the world and the environment. Like, I can't, seriously, someone was saying, like, Favour, you've been to the UK, how can you not know that, you know, it's hot over here? Well, whenever I visited, it was cloudy all day, and it was ranging from, like, the 70s to the 80s, but it was never hot. I never felt hot, except for when I was on the subway. It was hot down there. My point is, like, again, I just can't fathom what y'all are going through right now. It really does not, I can't comprehend it. That's crazy.
So they warm the Earth nearly 60% extra on top of the warming from the CO2 released to run the air conditioners. Then, as the Earth gets warmer, we use more air conditioning, which warms the Earth even more in a
So it's like a quid pro quo. I don't even know if I use that phrase right.
vicious feedback cycle that's only going to get worse over time and as developing countries get richer and more people have access to air conditioners.
Oh, man.
Compared to today, we're going to be using 4 times as many air conditioners in 2050. And at some point, we're going to be using more energy for air conditioning than for heating. To avoid the immense global impact this will have, we'll need to use the most efficient air conditioners and generate electricity in a way that doesn't release heat or CO2. When we get rid of our old air conditioners...
But I feel like all these other alternatives aren't probably going to be good for the environment either. Like the solar panels, they don't actually, you pay so much money for them, but they don't actually generate all that much energy. These wind turbines, I hear that they're bad for the environment as well. So again, it's just like, okay, I'll give you this, but I'll one step forward, but 3 steps back kind of thing.
When we get rid of our old air conditioners, we'll need to recycle or destroy their refrigerants, rather than, letting them leak out everywhere. And we'll have to switch over to refrigerants that, even if they do leak, won't trap heat. We'll also have to figure out how to use less air conditioning, some of which we can do by using fans until it gets too hot, and some of which we'll have to do by building buildings that are naturally cooler.
That completely ties into another video I wanted to film. Like, how does our infrastructure and architecture in America compare to Europe? Because over here we use our base as like wood and cement, and then we put brick on the outside. At least in Texas, most of the houses are brick. But then if you go like to the more older states that have been around for centuries, like New York, Pennsylvania, all those places, Rhode Island, the houses are made out of like wood, and you've also got basements and like all these different layers of house. So I want to see how that all compares to Europe. Like, what do y'all build your houses out of? And is it cool? Does it retain more heat, or does it let out more heat the way y'all build them? Let me know. Or we can react after this.
Buildings with shiny white roofs that reflect heat, or green roofs that reflect, insulate, and evaporate. Buildings with rooms that have windows on opposite sides, so air can easily flow through, creating a natural breeze. And buildings whose walls are made of materials that can absorb lots of heat without letting it inside, to keep people cool in the day, and then release it overnight. And we'll need to go even further by redesigning our entire cities to include more green spaces with trees that can provide shade, encourage hot air to mix with cool air, and cool the air themselves.
I can't even lie. Dallas, New York City, any city I'm in, you never see trees. You just live your life and you don't even realize that. When's the last time I saw just a tree, a natural tree? I couldn't even tell you. We mess up the earth, man.
Through evaporation. Or we could do nothing. But that definitely wouldn't be cool.
This is fine. I liked how he said this wouldn't be cool. Yeah, because it's hot as hell. But yeah, again, y'all are just living hell. Hot as hell. Europe, America, the entire world right now. And again, you can always say, what is the cause? What is the cause? I feel like all of it ties into it. The way we live, cars, AC, just all these things. We don't really take care of the planet, and you don't realize like your actions have consequences until you have to live with the consequences. And we are living with them. It's hot as hell. Anyways, I hope you liked the video. If you did, subscribe and let me know. I don't know how you're keeping cool. Are you drinking water? Are you going outside and swimming? Are you jumping into lakes and stuff? Y'all got bridges. Are you jumping off bridges and stuff? Let me know so I can do it too, because I'm hot too. Anyway, subscribe, like, I gotta go. Bye.